So hello everyone, this is OK here, and we're going to try out some S-chess with opperwezen. Let's make the board maybe a fraction bigger. Okay, so we're trying a line in S-chess, and I've just got to make sure, what am I supposed to leave? I'm supposed to leave nothing behind. So where does my hawk come from? Ah, it comes from the bishop. Okay. So in this game I capture a knight, so it looks like I'm a queen up, but I'm getting my queen trapped. And there's no real way to stop bishop here, protected by the rook, and bishop takes queen. So what I do is I do a counterattack on his rook, and then I take his. Oh, I don't take his rook. I first sack the queen on the bishop, and then take the rook. Putting a hawk back here, so I can take back with the hawk. Takes back with the hawk, and we arrive at this position here. Whoa. Where I back off, maybe attacking the bishop. He's got an elephant there. Maybe I back off, maybe I don't. Hawk f5 is yeah. So just to say something about the position, I've still got an elephant, so elephant. We have two rooks, two knights, and a bishop. So he's got a rook, knight, and bishop, but we have another rook. So we have a rook for a queen. So Hawk f5 apparently is good. I guess because it's an active piece. Maybe there's threats of Hawk to g3 check coming in. Hawks are not good in that direction. So, so going right the way back to the beginning. What if I won and what if I lost? I won a knight. Oh, so I might be up a knight. Yeah. So I've got rook and knight for a queen, but I've also got a much more active position. And Opper says I need to be careful after c4 ideas with the rook coming in and so forth. So knight here would make sense. If I was just to I mean, Opper's seen this game, so it's only fair that I see this game as well. So what happened in this game, which Opper played, is e6 was played, this defending the rook. Just seeing this, just what actually happened in this game, who won, and so on. White won. Okay, so I'm going to close down this game, and we're going to have a little think. And we're also going to just put that there so I can see in case he chats to me on Discord. Okay. Whoa, time is an issue. Apparently I've beaten Opper once on Pi Chess. What would that have been in? In placement. Okay, so that was a resign on move 1. Okay, so I'm thinking of moving the knight out. But let's see. Okay, I'm going to do this. And the idea is this. So now this piece is under threat. He backs off. Okay. If I ever go knight here, he can just take it. So that's no good. Need to work out how to develop fast. Because knight here is coming and things are going to get traded off. Queen here is coming, maybe. So maybe just knight here. Okay. Do I want to take my bishop out or not? In the previous move I also had this check. It didn't really do anything. I'm just trying to familiarize myself with what's going on here. At some point I need to play e6, but maybe this is fine for now. So, yeah, I didn't see that coming at all. There's not much I can do. If knight takes pawn, knight takes pawn, he just takes back. Ah, this is very frustrating. Oh, but then I could take maybe this pawn. That's maybe an idea. So knight takes pawn, and if he takes here, then I take here, and then he takes back. So at least I get a pawn for my efforts. Except that doesn't work because the bishop is guarding. Ah, okay. This is rather painful. I can take here though. Yeah. Oh my word. Okay. So what was the same line? Because I knew the line. Lobby. That's the one. Okay, just remind me what the line was again. For white, take the rook out, go c4. Okay, I see. Okay, so this time I've got the queen. Going for the queen trap. There are no deadly takes d5 tactics. So I'm getting an elephant and a hawk on the board, sharpish. Elephant. Hawk. Takes. Here. And what we saw in this game was c4. And why can't you just take c4? So this is more solid. Okay. So d takes c4 gives up control of on d5 and e4. So white can push for e4 apparently. So just to show what happened in this game, the queen came out and the bishop drops back. Yeah. So okay, so he's maintaining control over this square. There's no like sacrifices. So the thing we've got to remember about the hawks, because the hawks are out, is they're weak in this direction. There could be an exchange. Bishop backing off is interesting. He still has knight here though. Okay. I do that. Okay, I'm going to just take here. But I feel I'm not really understanding this game. Okay, elephant here. The elephant is attacked by the hawk, but I think that's okay. He decides to go for the exchange. Which means at this point, so I'm going to try and go for e4. So bishop c2 and e4, rook d1, knight c2, okay. Back off, e4, takes. So bishop knight rook against bishop knight rook. But I've got a queen and a hawk. I mean, surely that's good against a knight and a rook. What? This just feels good for... So I see, he wants control on this square. But yeah, white's got quite a lot of material. It just feels like a lot of material. Just chase that bishop away. Open up some lines for my rooks. Indeed, he backs off. So can I go e4? e4 takes. e4, prepare e4. With rook d1, if I do rook d1 first, castles maybe. Push. Can't I go e4 first? Takes. Yeah, e4 just immediately. Okay, so he does this. Okay, queen takes knight. The queen is a powerful piece. That's going to be a difficult pin to resolve because black isn't very well developed. Now that's what I was forgetting. He had an elephant all the while. He had an elephant. He had a darn elephant. I forgot about that. Okay. He hasn't got a check, so I still do this. But he can win a pawn. Or can he? Yeah, he probably can. So I'm thinking that's risky. Yeah, so the problem is queen here and lots of things are under attack. Queen here. Okay. So if I just took that elephant with my queen, I've got a hawk for a knight and a rook. It doesn't feel like a good trade. So it's a difficult situation. I mean, I could go here, but then yes, it's rather awkward. It's got this. Yeah, I don't really know what the follow-up is. Looks like rooks are going to get traded. Rook takes rook, just helps him. How to activate this darn hawk? Okay, to this, then this becomes weak. Okay, so suppose I go bishop here. That's a way of trying to solidify things. Avoid trading. Solidify everything. So he could double. I could come in with the king. I could also do this. If I do this, the threat is what? Queen takes checkmate. But he could trade his elephant with my hawk and then take the bishop. He could also now do stuff like this. Rook takes rook, knight takes rook, and win my hawk for a rook. That's the other problem. I do have this move though, but again he has this, takes, and then this is falling. Maybe that is the thing to do. Maybe he has this. So this is a check. That's the problem for him. It's actually quite serious. He could just take back like this. So maybe it's not so serious. And he does this anyway. And I don't really have an answer. Don't really have an answer. Just have to do this, I guess. If bishop takes pawn, bishop takes bishop, he's winning this. Okay, this is annoying. Guess I just have to. Yeah, what do I do here? If I go here, push the pawn maybe. This doesn't really work. Yeah, I can't protect both of these. This is bad. What do I do? Here. Here. Just feels bad. Yep. Forks my thing, and that's a resigner now. So we're going to try the same line again. Sack first, then take, then take, then back off. Play e6. It's really forcing this. Okay, now in this position, d takes c4 is tempting, but then it loses control of this square. Maybe knight here is a good idea. The alternative is developing. I mean, knight f6 has to be good, just developing. But maybe there's something you have to do it quickly. That's the only thing I'm slightly worried about. Is there a case for doing this quickly? Now, this is solidifying this pawn, which is under quite a lot of attack. It's also got an eye on here. And it's giving this piece an opportunity to rise and shine. So I expect him to take, and I think I have to take this way. Do I take this way? This way I'm worried about opening up this diagonal, which I'm not ready to block. I mean, I could take this way and then go like here. This is actually quite interesting. Which way to take? I don't want to open up this file though, so I'm going to take this way. That's my hunch. He backs off. I'm trying to develop. Just hoping I haven't missed too many things. Thinking of this move. Thinking of this move. That's pretty cool. I like that move. It's a one move threat, but it's a good one. So he's going to have to back off the queen, maybe to here, but then this falls, so maybe move the king. So he wants to go e4, but just the immediate threat of knight d2 is a problem. And if he just moves the king, what about moving this knight in? But if he ever gets this file open, then it's trouble. There's trouble brewing. So I'm thinking of this, but maybe just e4 defends everything. So knight here, check. Yeah, so this would be defended once, twice, and 3 times, which is pretty good. Pretty good. So, how to stop it? Suppose I go knight here first. Knight takes knight. Pawn takes. Then this is hanging. Ah, that's annoying. Knight takes knight. Is there anything smart I can do? Not really. This square is really well defended, this square not. And I could go knight here. then I've got 3 pieces on this square. But if he goes here, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's a huge battle. Yeah. Um, 1, 2, 3, 4. What? 1, 2, 3. So Oppa was saying in the chat that knight b6 forced the c4 pawn. He liked it. Forced the c4 pawn to make a decision. So forced the tension to be resolved. Yes, and this is a nice way of controlling e4 with tempo. So the knight's kind of taken an interesting route to control e4. He makes a good point. It wasn't so easy necessarily to control e4, and he's done it. Okay. So Opera is offering a trade of hawks, which is interesting. But what about this move? Isn't that checkmate? Not quite. You can go back. Now, if I want to, I can take it. So takes, and then put something on e4. Or develop. Well, I'll just do this, just to see what he's up to. Ah, we're both repeating. Is it going to be a draw? So let's just see. In the initial position, this is the initial position. 1, 2. Okay. If I take it, he's developing this thing here, and I don't know. A draw against Op is good, so I'll take a draw. I'm not generally just going to go for the win at all costs. So let's see. What do I want to do here? I want to stop the elephant from developing, and I want to get my king safe. Now the elephant develops, I think, to here. And the question is, yeah, do I want to stick a knight in on here and trade knights? Okay, so to see if I want to trade or not, it's like who's got the space advantage? Who's also get better in the endgame? feel in an endgame I'm going to be worse, so I have to somehow do something and not trade. That's my feeling anyway. Okay, so he does this. So this, remember, is defended by both bishop and hawk. This is defended by the bishop and the rook. I could dump a knight in on here, but he could just takes, and that's sort of... Then I get a knight on this square. The alternative is I go knight here, and this is interesting because now the bishop has got no squares. So I'm going to do this because I'm just feeling like the bishop's got no squares. So if I take the bishop, he takes my hawk with check. Ah, have I made a mistake? Ah, that's annoying. If I take with the pawn, he takes with a knight, I take with a knight. We're getting a huge trade down the center and this file is opening. So I should have just gone knight here. Why did I do it this way around? Basically I was afraid of just bishop here. Now this is just a disaster. What have I done? Okay, I have to do this. Okay, he's threatening this, so I have to take it. Again, he's threatening all kinds of discoveries. I could back off here. That might be a possibility. Maybe this is okay actually, if I back off here. Maybe it's not, because I can't ever take the queen because of discovered checks. Maybe. Well, it isn't crazy house, so you could just sack the hawk probably. This were crazy house. Pick up the knight and have a huge attack. So yeah, there's no need for this. Just this is good. And it's pinned, and so I can't really do anything. Can do this. So he takes here. Yeah, this is all very sad. At least this elephant defends this. That's all there is to it, though. Just castles. Ah, I just resigned, yeah. Okay. Okay, we'll play one last one. Okay, so do this. Tempt him in. This. Attack this one. Elephant here. So this was an interesting idea, but he just comes here and seems quite solid. What else was it? What else is an idea? Here, here. Try to get active. He wants to do this anyway. If I do this, suppose he just took on c4 and we have a kind of position where we'll yeah, let's do this first, just back off. And I think white is happy to exchange off, so I quite like elephant d3, but let's do this. So how can the elephant properly express itself? Can this already be played? Nope, because he's got 1, 2, 3 defenders. Okay, take care. He does choose this way. And this. So we have the e4, we have this well defended. Not quite sure what mistake we made in the first game, but hopefully we can learn from that. Materially speaking, he has an elephant coming. Bishop, knight, rook. So queen has to do better than a rook and knight. I feel the exchange of my elephant was good for his hawk, because his hawk was an active piece and my elephant wasn't. Since he's going to get an elephant, he's going to want open files, so I could just shut down files and try and open up diagonals. That's going to be my idea. Okay, do this. Of course. Yeah, so I just got a message from Karigaris 2 minutes ago. Okay, so he's hitting my rook. What if I go knight takes knight, check? Knight takes knight, check. He's not going to go bishop takes rook, but he could just go elephant takes knight. Knight takes knight, elephant takes knight. Knight takes knight, elephant takes knight, and I need an idea for my rook. And his elephant's just kind of developed, which is annoying. What else could I do? Could also go knight here, just to take his elephant off. If the elephant were really worth it. What else could I do? What if I do... no, it doesn't work. Knight here, knight here, knight here. Knight here, so if bishop takes rook, knight takes elephant. But what if we do this exchange? Knight here, bishop takes, rook takes elephant, rook takes rook. Okay. I don't have to, I could just do this, and then the threat remains, so that's also kind of annoying. So I'll do that. Okay, so the elephant just decided his future lay elsewhere. Okay, I'll attack the bishop, which doesn't have that many squares to go to. Ah, so he goes here, it means knight here, for example, attacks the bishop. But I could also go knight here to knight here, and that's also attacking the bishop. Okay, the bishop finds sanctuary after all. I'm not sure that was a good sequence, because where I really want my knight is here. So I didn't get any closer to achieving that. I do have ideas like knight here, knight takes pawn, which is pretty cool. I kind of like that. That's pretty cool. I really like that idea. So if rook takes rook, I can get like a task. He doesn't want a task. What a shame. So he's fianchettoing his old bishop. Nighthawk is feeling so lonely. What to do? Back off. Back off seems to be the only option. Okay, the knight's coming in, being annoying. Do this. So darn secure. So if I push this pawn, what happens? If I push this pawn, this isn't a bishop at least, this is a knight and rook, so this takes, knight takes, for example. And that gives my other piece some freedom. Okay, so I'm going to do this. If knight takes knight, I've got choices. I could go I've got to watch out. This is a threat. This here check is a threat, so this here check isn't a threat. Oh, it is. It is a threat. So I go takes with the knight, takes with the queen. Thanks for the extra time, Opper. And here, I want to do. Oh, so the queen's under attack. Oops. Okay, just back off. I could also go rook takes rook and then back off. That's also a possibility. But just back off. If he takes my rook, I take his elephant. That's an interesting idea. If he moves the elephant, so he moves the elephant. Okay. Now, what's the elephant doing actually in that position? Not that much. So he's offering something dangerous. If I take the bishop, elephant takes the rook. Takes the bishop, elephant takes the rook. Okay, let's actually look at some ideas. What about queen here? Just simply knight here. Queen here takes, knight here. Takes. Don't see. Queen here. Takes. Takes. Knight here. I think that's good. So I'm fairly certain he's going to take. He doesn't. Oh, interesting. Well, that in itself is interesting. The fact that, yeah. That in itself is interesting. If I go bishop here, so the point is if bishop takes knight, he has rook takes queen. But bishop takes rook. Bishop takes knight. I have this option. I also have the option of going queen takes rook, rook takes. That doesn't work. Queen takes knight, queen takes rook, rook takes, knight takes. That doesn't work. Bishop takes knight's interesting, because bishop takes doesn't work. So bishop takes knight, he does have to take the queen. And I go pawn takes. So I am winning a knight there. So I'm giving up the queen. Should I go pawn takes or bishop takes? If pawn takes, he's got bishop takes bishop. So maybe bishop takes. Bishop takes, he's got pawn takes pawn though. But his king is slightly weak. Bishop takes, he also has rook here. And if pawn takes, the problem with pawn takes, what if he does bishop takes bishop? Pawn takes, bishop, pawn takes. Yeah, there's a bishop takes. If pawn takes pawn, maybe just bishop takes bishop and try and claim the king is weak. If rook there, on the other hand, then I can reinforce. If I just go bishop takes bishop, no. I'm thinking of going hawk here. Pawn takes pawn. If I just push, he takes. So the thing is, if push takes... Yeah, that doesn't feel right. Just taking bishop takes bishop feels reasonable. Bishop takes bishop, king takes... sorry, bishop takes bishop. You'd have to go rook takes rook. Hang on a second. Bishop takes bishop is very interesting. Because now I've got this move threatening this checkmate. So we're left with hawk against elephant, are we? Okay. He wants pawn takes pawn probably, but it does weaken his structure. Is there anything else? Probably not. He also has checks, but I always have this check, takes, and it turns into a pawn endgame. And the pawn endgame is 1 because he's a piece up. So, or is he doing something even more forcing? I guess he's doing something even more forcing. So I have to do this to defend my hawk. And I think he just... oh my goodness. So I have to keep defending my hawk. He takes it off and he's yeah, got a winning pawn endgame. Good game. It was a tight game. Felt like I was in it, at least. So, at what point, if any, did it slip away? I'm not sure. So maybe here, instead of bishop g5, a better approach was... Where was I? Just taking it, and then bishop g5. Takes, rook e8, king b3, but that still feels losing. So was there any point when I was actually winning? Maybe not. So as far as we can see, black is always better. Going all the way back to the opening when I did this move. Knight takes d5. Ooh. Knight takes d5. So actually that's confusing me. Why knight takes d5? Oh. Oh. I see. Takes. I can even take here. Takes. Elephant here. Check. Pick up the rook. Okay, interesting game. So probably in the opening, yeah, it's hard to say. At the point we left off, the bishop, this position here, it's quite equal. Bishop f2 is a recommended move. c5 is interesting. e6 is advisable. Cool. Okay, let's see if Karigalis is in the lobby. But we're going to play something called Knightmate. Mate the knight. Okay. So let's see. The king moves. The king moves like a knight, and the knights move like a king. The goal is still to checkmate the king. Knights moving like a king are quite logically called commoners. Castling is still permitted under the same conditions as in orthodox chess. On the right diagram, the threat is bishop takes f7, check, commoner takes f7 and queen takes f7, checkmate, with more material and a winning attack. No, not checkmate, because the king can jump out. Okay, so, wow. So not only is it's also completely randomized, so it makes it even more tricky. Oh my goodness. So, kind of want to get myself castled and sorted out. But okay, let's go. Okay. So I'll do this. He has queen here check, but I just have bishop here, and the king defends a2. So you'd have to just go back again. So that would be a loss of tempo. Tempting though it is, it being a check. So it's a lot harder to mate a king that can move like a knight. But just like in chess, maybe just focus on the material rather than mating. It's probably the best thing to do. Because the knight's going to be quite hard to mate in a way. So just have to play it like a strategic game. They're not bad, these pieces, these commoners. They do defend squares. I mean, it's quite good to have a commoner. Okay, so he does the right thing, I think. His problem is how to get this queen out. Okay, he's blocked his bishop somewhat. How to get the queens out, how to get the queen out. I think I'll do it like this, and maybe f4. So we're getting the queen out, and we're also trying to challenge the center. It's really weird that these commoners can just like move one at a time. Opper says the knight looks like a king, but can't move like a king. Yes. I think I understand the rules. Okay, I'm just going to open up the rules again. Yeah. I'll just play an example game here, just to, so we're absolutely sure. So just playing it on the screen, an example game. Ooh. The king is going to get mated if it does that. That really isn't smart. Let's check, check. Okay, this is hard to get mated. Yeah. So just because it can move like a knight doesn't mean you should develop it. So I'm thinking of going here. If he takes the pawn, take his bishop. That sort of idea. So fairly logical stuff. So you can think of things in terms of spheres of influence. These two pieces here have got a very, very powerful within a small sphere of influence. The bishops are powerful within a big sphere of influence. You could say, why am I unblocking his bishops? Well, there's a pin. If he takes, I take his bishop. So what if he just keeps the tension? Takes, takes. Yeah, I'm not sure. What have I achieved? So what I'm trying to say is the pieces with long spheres of influence you need to be controlling squares a bit further out, maybe doing mates, and the pieces with smaller spheres of influence are probably quite good at defending the king. Like, but probably quite hard to fianchetto in a way, which is what you want to do. Could even go knight, king here, make the king an active piece. Okay, I think I'm going to do this though. Yeah, this move is quite smart. He's moving his commoners closer to his king, but and maybe enabling himself to castle one day. Yeah, the commoners can be quite good pieces, to be honest. And I wonder if a, is a commoner worth that much less than, for example, a bishop? Okay, I'm going to take this one and see what he does. Oh, I think I'm going to regret that because... Okay, he does it this way. Okay. It's no big deal. So I could just take this knight out and attack this pawn. Do this. And again, being sure that I've always got this. Okay, that's good. It's really weird because these are king-like pieces, but you can't check them. Go queen here. Just activating my queen, simply. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. Go here. Do I castle? Castle seems good. And it works. So Opper says, I don't rate the bishops highly in this. Well, everything is valuable in its own way. Is the truth? I just realized something, is that if my king is on b1, it won't defend a2. That's rather annoying. So if he throws in a check, for example. So what did Opper do? He also castled. How did he castle? I don't understand. He castled? It says he castled, but I can't see a castling, so let's just refresh this. It says... Oh, I see. It's still my move. Interesting. That's interesting. So if you castle, you can do another move. Okay. So I'll do this. Yeah, so Opper's complaining there's a bug, which gave me 2 moves in a row. It is very strange indeed. If you look here, I castle, and that counted as 2 moves. That's so weird. So we've got to report this bug to VChess. And that did help because it enabled me to bring my commoner in, so bishop here check can be met with king here. So it's Opper to move. Okay, he sees it now. So takes. Okay, choices now. Do I take with the rook or with the commoner? Commoner will just get pinned. So I take with the rook. So tempo, Oppa says I got an extra tempo, but in a strategic variant it doesn't matter. Matters absolutely. I'm taking every extra tempo I can get against you. What's interesting is the king on f1 actually defends h2, so there's no real need to go king g1 kind of thing. So Oppa is actually really controlling the d5 square very well, I just realised. So Oppa castles, interesting. He exchanges and castles. So look how many pieces he has focused on d5. 1, 2, 3, 4. And how many pieces do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's quite a lot. Could do this. But it is liable to be pinned, that's the only problem. Yeah, I think the pin was strong, but it does something else. Just do this. Takes my bishop. Okay, fine. He pushes a pawn. That's a strategic move because it's threatening this one. And again, the knight doesn't defend the bishop. Humdy humdy hum. So Op says a knight from Knightmate only moves like a knight, apart from casting. Yes. Apart from casting, it only moves like a knight, so I can never defend. Yeah. So how to defend? If I push the pawn, he could take it with the king. If I push... Suppose I push the pawn, and he goes bishop takes pawn, bishop takes, rook takes. No, I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to take this bishop. Indeed. So if I just do this, so I think he has to take back what I'm threatening to push again. He can throw in a check and win this pawn if he ever wants to, although the rook is defended for now. So he does throw in the check. So if I went knight here, he'd have a free rook with queen takes rook and check. So knight here seems to make sense. Notice the squares around the king, the nightmare king, are defended by the commoner, as I thought they were. I have choices. I could take this, but then I lose the commoner. I lose my king. So my choices are as follows. I can either move this to here, or I can block. If I block, takes. He's got 3 pieces on that square though, so blocks. He could take. So it makes more sense to back off. Exit, exit. And he kind of has to take the rook, or else I've got rook takes rook myself, and the nightmare can't take back. And if rook takes rook, queen takes is sort of forced. Yeah, queen takes is sort of forced, and again queen takes is sort of forced because I'm threatening queen here, checkmate. Queen d8, checkmate. So it's my move. Why can't I take? Refresh. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we're into an interesting kind of endgame with 2 commoners against 2 commoners. Interesting, interesting. And just like in chess, the king is a powerful piece. You have to centralize it. And you have to make sure it doesn't get taken as well. So you've got to keep it away from those commoners. He's going to pick up this pawn, so it's an equal pawn endgame. Does he pick it up with the pawn or the... Doesn't really make a difference. Okay, so we were discussing whose move it was. So I'm going to just do this, just to stop the commoner coming in, as it were. I find it quite likely these commoners get traded off quite quickly. Got to keep the opposition. um, Yep, so he does have this square. I could attack it like so. Maybe he moves across. And then comes in here. That's the only slight concern. Okay, I mean, I don't know. It's just trying to have your stuff in the center. Why didn't I put the other one in there? Because otherwise you could take, and go this way. Somehow it's not. Then the commoner would start hunting down the knight. Okay, endgame. Okay, so that makes sense. Do this. If I do this or this, it just gets taken. So I'll do this. Ah, okay, fine. If I do this, maybe. So if he does this, I can just take this pawn. I can still push this pawn if he takes, king takes. But he can just move his king here. Of course, if king here. So, yeah, I'm not sure if that was advantageous or not. So if I do this here, you can come and chase me rather. Okay. So, okay, if I do this here, I can never take those because if king takes rook, knight takes rook. Okay. I'm just going to take this off because it's so that's a check, a check, a check. And if I go here, he can attack it. He's attacking it with his commoner. If I go c4, he attacks. What am I actually achieving? So c4, he attacks me. Yeah, so maybe I need to back off. Maybe like go here. Oh, oops. I missed that. What happened? Takes. Ugh. Yeah. So I think I can resign this one. The knight can try and run for a bit, but the commoner's just going to come and chase him. That's annoying. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Yeah, there's no way I can win. So what I'm going to do is just do a little test of whether if I go knight b4 I'm allowed to do that or not. I don't think I'm allowed to do the knight b4. Yeah, I'm not. So you're not allowed to go to squares a knight away from the opponent king. Fairly simple. Okay, and this is resign. Let's do a rematch. Send challenge. It's a tough old game. Okay, so activate my pieces. Control the center. So let's do this. Do this. No real terribly weak squares. Hmm. I mean, what do I just go? A6, B4, C4. I even have Nightmare to D3 if I want to be very greedy. Hmm. Hmm. Takes. There, takes. That's slightly annoying. Um, it's quite hard to get castled actually on the king side with this setup. If I did want to. Yep. So he's going for glory. Sometimes I need to refresh if I want this to take something. Oh, interesting. I thought I could get back, and now I'm not sure. Ah, that's darn annoying. He has my nightmare trapped. Yeah. Wow. This. But he simply attacks it, and it's all over. Yep. Checkmate. Okay, let's try again. I guess that's a good one to say why you shouldn't take your nightmare out too early. Um, okay. So what about this one? Okay, I'm going to get my queen out. So the bishop is vaguely annoying. I think I want to do this. But I need to focus on my long range and short range. So where's his long range control? Where's his short range control? I think he's using his bishops a lot better this game. Short range control is spread. Do this. it would be natural to go for a pin. I think that's going to happen. It's fine though. I just go queen e2 and everything's very well defended. But it's a natural thing to try. Queen e6, queen e2, and if the pin, just back off, takes, commoner takes, and then I can castle. And I've got a nice fianchettoed bishop. So that's my current plan. Okay, he's going for this first, I can just back off here. You can throw in a check, but I've got lots of places I can go to. I can block with the commoner, I can block with the queen. Blocking with the queen makes more sense because it challenges. The commoner would just get pinned, whereas the queen would challenge. Oh, I didn't want to go all the way back to g2, what have I done? I didn't want to go to g2 because I wanted commoner to g2, so I could get castled. So I've rather botched my castling plans. Um, so one can always throw in a check, but it doesn't achieve anything. What are the weak squares in the position? Okay, so this is very bad if I've done a c3 because it's really weakened my bishop on a1 is sort of out of the game. It's very bad. If I go queen there, check. Okay, it is a way of developing with tempo, to be fair. Might as well do it. Okay. So I'm developing out this way because I am castling queenside instead. Still need to find a home for my bishop though. Maybe g3 f4. That's not so good for the knight, mare, king. Okay, got my commoner well developed. That's something to be happy about. This, if he takes it, actually that just helps me develop. So I shouldn't be too displeased with that. He pushes. Oh, I just got a message from Opper. He said he missed queen e6, queen e2, takes e2, Doesn't seem need it's okay, but a2 did hang. What was that again? Queen e6. Oh, earlier. He did have a check and pick up this pawn. Which is, yeah, that's true, that's kind of annoying. Okay, so let's do this. Could go b4 or b5. Go for b4, just be a bit more aggressive. Okay, so sometimes captures I can't do on the site, I have to refresh, which is very strange. It does this, which means I can't castle anymore. But he can. Oh, I could castle. I can castle. I can castle. So then the question is, do I want to? And then he says, in the castle gives me an extra tempo. Let's do h6 to not make use of it with takes d2. I don't understand. Oh, the castle gave him... I see. Okay. I'm going to work out whose move it is because I'm a bit confused. So now I've castled myself. He castled and did h6 in one move. Impressive. And now it's my move again, is it? No. So he takes d2, of course. And I'm going to challenge the file using the fact that his rooks aren't developed. Not quite. Yeah, not quite. Very close to being very dangerous. He can defend with commoner to e7, defend rook here check, so on. The knights don't do well. I mean, the nightmares don't do well against the back rank. This is why it's so dangerous. He says, no, I win d2. Yes. It was a pawn sack. Whose move it is? Is it? I'm slightly confused. It is Opper's move. Okay, so yeah, it does take some thinking. So if he just backs off, takes, knight takes, that doesn't look good. But he could go takes, and commoner to e7, and that controls the entry squares. So takes. Yeah, I don't see how to continue. I feel like I had to do it this way, but let's see. Ah, maybe one way of continuing is rook here and then throw in checks. So apparently, Opper can't see the board. Well, it's been an interesting game. Not quite sure about my opening choices. I kind of adapted from a kingside castle plan to a queenside castle plan, and then in the end ended up casting kingside after all. And in this position, it's kind of fairly intense because not clear who's going to win. So I'm just telling him, let's just play on. What do you do after rook d1? Let's just text how the game continues. Oh, we can click on analyze. Okay, analyze. Okay. So rook d1, what are you going to do? Yep, Opper's up a pawn. Okay. Castles, rook takes d2, rook d1. Okay, so we're both moving in analysis, I think. Okay, rook takes d1. I take it back. Okay. So yeah, I'm down a pawn, but I have slightly more active pieces. c7, and then my plan is rook d5. And maybe black does have a move here that wins, but we'll see. b6 he plays. So he stops me checking him. I think I push. Did I push? Push again. If I just go here, then unfortunately he goes king, king b5, king. Sorry, yeah, commoner b5, commoner b7. It's not clear. So I do c5, just because I can't think of anything else to do. And obviously he doesn't take it, because that would give me checks. Yeah, it's not so clear. Not so clear. Because the commoner's coming in and trying to take my rook and such like. He's got commoner b7, commoner c6, and that's not so comfortable. Commoner b7, yeah, good move, good move. So go to king h3, and I'm not really sure what I'm doing at this point. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so if I just do this, he just does this, and it's looking a bit awkward. So that's not really that strong. If I take here, you can take here. Yeah, it's really no good. The commoner is sort of coming in and bossing things around. Yeah. Yeah. I feel C takes b6. Oh, he does Chancellor takes b6 to stop king b5. Well, king b5 anyway. Okay. Two. Just Chancellor c5, but then c6. I don't know. Not Chancellor. Commoner. Commoner c5. But now he can hit the rook, maybe. So I'm feeling I'm not playing this well. Takes. No, but then the commoner can go here with tempo, hitting the knight, hitting the king, the nightmare. So he says, yeah, if he goes for the rook, then I trap, well, I half trap the nightmare. I get tempo at least on the nightmare. So it doesn't work. Okay, so he wants to go rook to d8 here. So if I go he is going for this anyway. Why is he going for this? So if I take them here, he's got lots of options. You can go knight takes, pawn takes. So what do I do here? I go. He can't go rook takes rook, so I have to go king here, thingy here, and I trap it. So I mean, I do this anyway. Yeah. Commoner takes b6. A takes b6. Now the rook is kind of trapped. Could go rook here, but doesn't do anything. It's going to take the rook, because otherwise he attacks my rook. And that's check, and I have no doubt that he's going to take that back. So takes d8, takes d8. Okay, so now it's an endgame, a pawn down. Now hit this. Maybe just centralize. So 25, king e2, just centralizing the knight. And the question is, can you win these sorts of endgames? So we are at a sort of critical phase, like moves like g4, for example, takes king to f4, push. Knight here doesn't threaten anything, so you have to try and figure out how to attack the base. So he does commoner to d7. So, okay, so it's quite tempting. Do I push g5? If he takes it, what do I have? I have a push, defends, push. Yeah, this will work. This will work. This will work. Maybe. So the point is, if he takes it, king here, if he goes here, knight here, and you're picking up one of these pieces. If he pushes again, king takes pawn, king takes, knight comes back. So g4 is a nice move, and why have I not told him the move? But what he's going to do is probably just go king, so commoner to e6, and that solidifies everything considerably. But that way, yeah, I've split up my own pawns though in the process, so it's not completely clear. This is beneficial. But yeah, it allows my commoner to come out, commoner d3 next, and so on. So we're continuing this game of effectively correspondence. Correspondence nightmare. Let's fill up the whole board. So Opper's thinking. It's just verifying the position is the same for him as it is for me. So yeah, the point of g4 is just to free my pieces. I didn't want to play f3 and face e3. So I'm trying to get my pieces out. So he does, of course, what I thought he'd do, which is commoner to e6. And then I go commoner to g3. Goes commoner to e5, commoner to f4. So the point is, if he takes, and takes the pawn, I could take this pawn. And if he takes, and pushes this pawn, I move here. And if he then takes the pawn, then I have knight f6 hitting both pawns. And I can take whichever pawn is less dangerous. He could protect one of the pawns with knightmare to here, and then I can take this one. Knightmare to here. I think I survive. And he says cg3 and cf4. I see. Indeed. So, yeah, like I said, it's quite tough to analyze. Takes, pawn here, knight here, pawn takes pawn, knight here, knight here, knight takes pawn, pawn here. It's complicated. And yeah, he's been pondering the variations. Takes, pawn here. Here. Knight doesn't have that many other places to go. But he goes for it. So he goes g5, king, king d5. So I'm joking to Opper that I've got this line all calculated. It's just f4. Ah, okay. Hadn't thought of this move. f4. If I go here, here, takes, here, push. Didn't calculate this one. Yeah, I had not. What do I do now? Just push here. Pushes here. Let's push here. See some zugzwang. He pushes here. Okay. Okay, so 31 a4. And my idea is if he takes the knight out, maybe take on this one. And then if he pushes, takes here. Not sure I can take on that one. If he ever pushes, takes, take. So if I take on this one, he can push. And is there any way I can get back in time? I might not be able to get back in time. King to d6. Darn. Because I really want to take here, but then he pushes. Push. And he stops me. Okay, so what if I take on here, push, takes, push, takes, push, but he can also stop my. Okay, so if I just come back, he pushes again. That's the problem. Come back, pushes again, and I'm out of time. If I ever do takes, push, takes, am I done for here? So I'm the one in Zugzwang. He could come in knight here, for example. King here, for example. King here. push. So if I just do this, king comes here. Yeah, that's no good. And if I go king here to start with, push, takes, push. Maybe king here to start with. Did I do something wrong? King here to start with. Yeah, that's tough. That is tough. Okay, so king c3. So I have to defend on e2. And if I takes and he pushes the other pawn, then defend on f2. Seems it might hold. Seems like it might hold. e3 is played. If I didn't take it, it would get taken. So obviously takes, and I assume he takes back. f3. He goes f3. Okay. I kind of didn't expect that. But it okay. So king d1 was forced. King to e4. Now this is something very interesting. Maybe it wasn't forced. Oh, that's true. This works. How come this works? Because he controls the square. He gets to that square before I do. Ouch. Was there anything else I could have done? If I'd done knight b1, he still does knight e4. So that doesn't work. There was no other way, was there? Nice. King e4, so if I go here, he pushes. And that's rather unfortunate, because then he pushes again. And, he successfully converts. Push takes. Yeah, nothing. There is no little trap somewhere. Okay, good game. So we're looking at something called Knightrelay, apparently. Any piece guarded by a friendly knight can also move like a knight. So knight f4 would be checkmate because any piece guarded by a friendly knight. Okay, so knight f4 is checkmate because the queen will then have the powers of the knight. A pawn on the 6th rank guarded by a knight could thus make a knight move to reach the last rank and promote. These oddities accepted, orthodox rules apply. Here you could take rook takes knight. Okay, so it seems like a simple enough game. A challenge. Okay, so we're playing Knightrelay. It's just exactly the same as normal chess, except those pieces, like this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, which are a knight away, can move like which are knight moves away from your knights, can move like knights. So this one can move like a knight, for example. Huh. This could move to here or to here. So various things it could do. You could just throw open the file by just going like this, for example. And I'm throwing open my H file. But I'm not quite sure that's the right thing to do because my king's on that side of the board. But it's just something fun to do. Okay, one should be trying to control the center of the board. And Oppa was saying I could have played G6. Queen takes rook and knight F6. And the queen is trapped. That's true. I could have done that. And then I'd have to follow it up with knight d6 and pawn takes queen. But the problem with that move is he could sack by going queen takes knight, and the knight's a valuable piece. So yeah. So what's that move doing? It's basically saying I want to move my pawn to here or here. So I need to somehow get my own pieces out. So I'm going to do this. So rook takes pawn is a threat. So he's going to defend h2 probably. And he does, in a very standard way. And now I can go bring this knight out here, so this pawn now can take this pawn, if it wants to, or I can go rook takes pawn, but bishop is protecting this. I can go pawn takes pawn though. I can go pawn takes pawn and then g5 even, if I want to. Just really work down this h file. So he just does this. Seems reasonable. So I've got no time to go pawn takes pawn, I lose my knight. And if I move my knight out here, then okay, but I can go pawn takes this pawn like this. Except part of me is going, what are you doing? This is not defending your position. This is opening up all the ranks on your king. Ugh, what am I doing? Okay. So I just go back again. Ah, that was terrible. There's one saving grace, is that he doesn't have rook takes g5, because f7 takes rook. So, oh my gosh, what do I do? He wants pawn takes pawn, which is really embarrassing. Forking my knights. Yeah, he says, let's not take on b5. Didn't fall into my trap. Darn it. It's quite hard to defend. How do I defend? Just with the bishop, maybe? But then he can take the bishop with the pawn. Well, it's an advanced old pawn. I'm going to do that. Don't want to lose my knights, so I'll rather do that than, yeah. And my knights, I'll do this. I'll lose the piece, it's fine. Pawns are also valuable. Pawns can be very valuable if you have knights to back them up. But obviously, better not to lose the piece, but it's okay. So you have to control the squares around. Yeah, he's going again for this. Let's do this. Could push again, threatening this again, but then my king is a lot safer. So it's not the end of the world. Could even go queen. Could bring my queen out to defend that square. If pawn takes pawn, I take back with this pawn, notice, which is defended by the knight. So this knight is a very important defender of my position. Go queen here and move my queen like a knight. Queen doesn't need to move like a knight, it's got enough power. That's why the knights are very, very useful for the pawns, giving the pawns power. So my king's a bit airy, but my development has improved as a consequence. But I still have problems down the G file, the B file rather. And the knights are not really defending anything just now. So we'll do this, just so that my bishop is a bit more dangerous. What I really need to do is give my pawns powers. Okay, are there any sort of standard checkmate ideas? So knight a7 is interesting. It kind of blocks things up. Knight f7 feels more solid. Knight f7 feels a lot more solid. So I'm threatening sort of pawn there, fork. go bishop here, take the knight, take this pawn. These sorts of ideas. Maybe if I take the knight, also queen here becomes something. Queen here, pawn takes pawn. So what are my superpowered pieces? It's this and this. Powered pieces. So now, for example, I could have pawn takes pawn, which is quite nice. I can't ever go back. It's just a one-off. Pawn takes pawn, and then I have to push or something. So pawn takes pawn. Not clear how useful it is. Or I could go rook takes pawn. Or, yeah, rook takes pawn is interesting. Or queen takes pawn. Try and get my piece back. That's also interesting. So I could just go pawn takes pawn. Or I could go rook takes pawn, but then he wins my rook. Rook takes pawn, bishop takes rook. Yeah, that doesn't quite work. Yeah, so pawn takes pawn does just kind of open up the G file a little bit, which is annoying. So I'll go for the original idea, which is this fork here. But it's not a fork because yeah, it's not a fork. It's just yeah, I don't know. Not sure what it is. It's just trying to solidify my structure a little bit. All the while, pawn takes pawn is still always on the cards, but the more immediate threat is the simple pushing. c4. And just trying to make sure I have a safe king. So c4 takes. Yeah, the knight would never be harmed by c4, unfortunately. So he does do this, and this doesn't have superpowers. I can give it superpowers, but I'll lose a knight in the process. Give that superpowers. It's already got superpowers, though. I can give. Okay, just go here, I guess. I'm worried about him coming underneath my structure a little bit. Okay, so suppose I just attack his knight, then he can just move his knight. Suppose I attack his knight, and he moves his knight. He could move his knight here, for example, and then that's defending this square here. Or you could take the knight, I take the knight, but then he's do this. So is there anything dangerous you can do with that knight? Any superpowers? No, I think, and the point is if he just moves the knight, I take his bishop, knight takes bishop. So this is forced. So I'm eliminating one of these annoying knights, but am I winning a piece as well? Maybe not. He backs off. He backs off, he backs off. I want I want something like queen here. I want something like pawn takes pawn, pawn takes pawn, just bishop takes pawn, or queen takes pawn. So queen takes pawn looks very safe. Maybe knight here is interesting because then I'm attacking his bishop. But I'm also doing a classical threat of forking his queen and rook. I'm not sure if that's worthwhile or not, but it's sort of interesting. So, I mean, I imagine he does a move like backing off the bishop. Yeah. And now I have knight here hitting the queen. He doesn't have any particular threat. Maybe go queen here. So if I take the rook and he takes back, I'm mating him, is the idea. So if I take the rook, he takes my queen, I take back, but then the rook is not defended. That's a sort of idea. So he does this. Okay, but now I need to find, now there must be something. Knight there check just goes queen takes knight, so that doesn't work. Queen takes pawn. I lose my bishop. Pawn there. Just pawn there. Seems simple. So the knight was defended by the pawn, so now I'm opening up the g file again, which is a little annoying, but I can take the rook whenever I want. I also hit the queen. Yeah, so taking the rook. Hitting the queen, taking the rook. These are sort of ideas. He always has a check, which is vaguely annoying. But then I can step up. Oh, the bishop can behave like a knight. I forgot that. Might not want to though. But still, that's interesting. So bishop there, check. I don't have any miracle moves. Got king h7, getting out of the pin. Feels safe. The knight defends, checks. But then, yeah. Oh, he takes it. Okay, I didn't expect that. So if I go knight takes rook, he takes my queen. So I take the bishop. Rook takes bishop. I see, my queen is overloaded. Ah, I had not thought of that. So queen takes rook. Yeah. So in the final analysis, I've got a rook for a knight and a bishop, but a knight's a really good piece. So that's a bit of a shame. Okay, that's a shame. So all I can try and do is activate. So I have definitely moved the king, surely. I haven't moved the king. Could have castled. I could have castled, that's so annoying. But if I castle now... Hang on, what? I'm just going to resign this. It's... Okay, I shouldn't resign it. He just had bishop takes here. Yeah, I'm just going to resign this one. Yeah, it's just... Now there are 37 variants. So there have been 5 variants added since we just streamed from here a few days ago. One of them is a second version of AllMate with just a slight update to the rules. So the rules were corrected, but the old version was also quite interesting. Cool, so check out the site, thechess.club. Signing out. And thanks Opper for all the games.